Hey, what is happening? What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually create a realistic scene in Blender. I will be using a few paid add-ons, but yeah, unfortunately, a lot of times if you want to create something realistic in Blender, you will need to use some decent add-ons, which normally cost money. But yeah, let's jump into it and hopefully you learn a few things. And yeah, if you do, make sure you subscribe. So first thing I do is I've got my scene set up, and if you're unfamiliar with how I did this, I've got a video on it. It's a couple of videos ago, and it shows you how you create the setup. But yeah, I'm not going to do it because it takes a few minutes. But first thing, what I'm going to do, and I normally do this with most scenes, is I create a plane. So Shift A, Mesh, Plane. Yes, let's scale it up. Something like that is good. And this is our base. So now this is our camera view, and this is where we're going to work from. So first thing I want to do is, you don't want a flat ground. You want some, obviously you want a little bit of bumps and that kind of stuff. So how do we do that quickly? The best way I normally do it is I go click on the thing, click on the plane, tab, right click, subdivide, go down here and subdivide it probably about 100 times. Okay, then we're going to stay in tab. You can do this, and what you want to do is you want to enable proportional editing. So click there, boom, make sure smooth is enabled. Then you want to click somewhere like here and then hit G, and then roll your scroll wheel and lift it up something like that. So we're creating our indentations, G, and you can even make it lower. So this is also pretty cool. Let's go here, G, let's make this one pretty big, something like that. It's looking pretty nice. Let's go here to the front, G, bring it up, something like this. Let's click here, and you can see this just adds a nice kind of like that. So we can always, if we go out of tab, right click, shade smooth, hit Control A to apply scale. Okay, and now obviously you can always go back and carry on. If you're not happy, you can click there, and yeah, it's not once you click out of it it's over, but this looks pretty cool and this is looking nice. So now what we're going to do is, I'm not going to add the grass yet. What I want to do is I put like a tree. So you can use Botanic or you can use Blender kits. So check it out. I'll leave a link to Blender kits in the description. 10% off. But this is, yeah, probably the best add-on for most kind of things that you need in Blender. So we're going to use, and let's type in tree. So hit tree and then go here. And now we can choose from some trees. So let's pick something. And you can see what's awesome is they've got so many trees to choose from. So we want something quite nice. You can see how many there is to choose from. Let's go with a nice big oak tree. Let it download. And then boom. Now, just click on the oak tree, hit S, and then make it smaller. Then go to Z, and then go G and bring it all the way back. Something like that. And then go X, G, bring it somewhere like this. And then maybe S, scale it up a little bit more. Something like that. Looks pretty cool. And then maybe click on it again and bring it something like this. Looks good. And we might need to bring it a bit lower because it's sticking out a bit. Click there, click on the oak tree, G, bring it down, and something like that. Actually a little bit more. Now we might have to adjust it later on in the scene, but let's just move our camera, because now with this we want, or we can leave it like this for now. So next thing you want to do is you want to get some lighting in the scene, because you can see here, if I do this, it's dark. Okay, now what you can use is you can go to Polyhaven and you can download the H2Rs. I've got the add-on in my asset browser. So you can see I've got H2Rs right here. And then we can look for an H2RI. Then if what's cool is you can click on indoor outdoor. Let's go with outdoor. Let's go with skies. Let's look for something with a bit of clouds. And that looks quite nice. You can see this looking quite nice. And you can just change your camera. Something like that. And then go Control-Alt-0. Because it all depends on the H2R that you're using. You know, if it's like this, you can see it looks a bit weird. So what you want to do, just get it to somewhere like this. And now we can go back here. And then what I'm going to actually do is add our grass. So I use Botanic for that. It's a paid add-on, but it's probably the best grass in my opinion, and it's the easiest to use. So you just click on there, hit plus, and then just boom, add it. It adds the grass like that. And obviously it's a bit hectic, so what we can do is we can scale it down, something like that, and go back here, and then go to our camera view, and that's looking quite nice. So you can always also add H2Rs from Blender Kit, so you can get these. So we can add this one in, and we can just go with 124, and you can see there you'll have to just play around with it. But what I'm going to actually do is just stick with this one. This is looking quite nice. What I might do is I might make the tree a little bit bigger. So click on the tree. Yes, let's scale it up. It's looking quite nice. And then maybe just G, bring it somewhere like that. And then let's just play around with our scale. You know, you'll never get it perfect. I just want to say, you know, you'll never get it perfect. Like a lot of times when you're creating scenes, even me, I've been doing Blender for like 4 years, and a lot of times when you start creating, you realize once you put H2R, you know, you put some grass, you need to scale things and you need to just adjust things, and that's probably what makes the difference between decent 3D artists and really good ones, because the attention to detail. You want to play, you know, even something like this. Let me show you. So camera, you can see this. A lot of times this looks nice, but if you want to make it look nice and photorealistic, you can add that depth of field. So you just click on your camera, click there, add depth of field, and you can see that's a bit hectic. And we can just change our object. It's that, and then you can bring our f-stop up, something like that, and you can see that adds that nice motion, that nice blur in the beginning, in the foreground. You know when you take photos with a nice expensive camera, you get that nice blur in the foreground. So what I could always do is you can always click on the camera, then just change your perspective to something like this, and then I actually like it better like that, and then I can add more grass. So I can bring the scale up of the grass. So I can add the scale, bring it back like that. Scale randomness, bring it up, and then just bring this there. And this is looking nice. Let's say I want to add some more grass. So what you could do is you could click on this plane, go back to camera. What's nice about Blender Kit add-on is I can just click here, click on the plane, and then add more grass. So let's add just basic grass like that, and then just scale it down as well. So just scale it down, something like that. And you can see it's starting to look nice. You can always change your camera. Like I said earlier, it's just about playing with the scale and that kind of stuff, and just tweaking things. You know, if I click on the oak tree now, I'll scale this up and make it bigger, and that will look even better. And you can see how nice it's looking. And you can even change our angles. So now I can click on the camera, Control-Alt-0, and then just shift it again, shift the X, something like that, and then back to camera. Let's make this something like that, or even something like this. I actually prefer this. So let's click on our camera, Control-Alt-0, zoom in. That looks quite nice. You know, it's all about playing around, but you can see how easy it is just to create something realistic. Once you've got the right tools, it becomes a lot easier to create something like this. And yeah, this is just a basic scene. You can always, you know, if you want, let me just go here. What you could always do is you could add more of these planes. So you could click here, go to Z, and then go Shift D, duplicate it, put it somewhere like that, and then X. What you could always do is bring this up, G, something like that, and then just rotate it. So R, something like that. You can see if I go back to camera, it adds that there. So you can see I've got now the 2 planes. And that just adds a bit more, you know, like I was saying earlier again, it's just about attention to detail and playing around until you find, you know, you don't have to add, right, let's just go back here. You don't have to add 100 of these planes. It's just get your camera, set it up nicely, and then work from there. So now I can see, yeah, it's looking good. I might add another one here. So what I'll do is, let me show you. So I'll get it here, go to Z, then go Shift D, duplicate it, something like that. Then go to X, G, and bring it up, somewhere like that. And then we'll have a look now. Okay, you can see there's a gap now. So we'll just go R, rotate it like that, and then just click on it again, G, bring it down, and now it's added that. Okay, so there's a bit of a gap again, G, something like that, and then let's just move it down a little bit more. Wrong one. Let's just go here, undo, undo, click on that one, G, then there we go. Okay, again, you can just scale it up a bit more. And that's looking nice. And that just adds, again, a little bit more. And then obviously you could probably add another one there, just so you find something that you like. You know, I'll go back here, you can see I haven't done that much, but it's just playing around with it. Take your time, spend a little bit of time. And also a good tip is create something. Once you've created this, you seem happy with it, render it, by all means, perfect, but save it and then come back to it another day, and then maybe, or 2 hours later, or take a break, go have a cup of coffee, and then come back, and then maybe like, well, maybe I don't want to add the tree, maybe I want to add a house here, or a car, or a person, or rocks, or you know, that kind of stuff. So you could go, let's go back to camera view, and you could add like a rock. So you could just say rock, search for rock. Oh, we don't want rock, we want a rock model. So click on there, rock. And then there, boom. Put it in there. There's a rock there. Now we can just go G, bring it somewhere like that. And then what you could always do is it's got a top view. So it's a bit big. Zoom in, something like that. Then go Shift D, bring it to somewhere like here. Then make it smaller. Even like that is fine. And let's look here. So you can see just 2 rocks. Let's have a look now. You can see that just adds a little bit more. You'd obviously play around with it. It's a little bit big. So what I would do is go probably like G, put it somewhere like that. And then, you know, you can just play around with until you find something that you like. You know, these extra little things here make a big difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these because I'm not happy with where they are, but just for demonstration purposes. And then what you can also do is you can increase the grass here. So you could make it maybe a bit bigger. You bring the scale up now, and that's looking quite nice. So hopefully this video helped you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Feel free to check out Blender Kit. Feel free to check out the Patreon, link in the description. And yeah, appreciate the support on the channel. See you in the next video. Peace.